Welcome, everybody, to the special Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is September 3rd, and the meeting is called to order at 6 p.m. Will the city clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Black?
Present.
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Here.
Commissioner Weinstein?
Here.
Commissioner Andrews?
Here.
Commissioner Douthat?
Present.
First item on the agenda is public comment. The floor is now open. Please remember to be civil and respectful and to only speak on items that are not on the agenda. You'll have time to speak on each item after it comes up. The floor is now closed for public comment. First agenda topic item is Ordinance 2019-22.
Mr. Pierce?
Madam Mayor and Commissioners, I'll let the clerk read the ordinance.
Ordinance 2019-22. An ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, establishing the millage rate for fiscal year 2020, providing and announcing the name of the taxing authority, the rollback millage rate, the percentage increase over the rollback millage rate, and the millage rate to be levied, providing for reading in its entirety and providing for an effective date. Whereas Florida statutes 200.065 requires the adoption of the millage rate by separate vote and prior to the adoption of the budget, and whereas Florida statutes 200.065 requires that prior to adoption of the millage levy ordinance, the following be publicly announced: the name of the taxing authority, the rollback millage rate, the percentage increase over the rollback millage rate, and the millage rate to be levied, and whereas in no event may the millage rate adopted exceed the millage rate tentatively adopted. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida. The name of the taxing authority is the City of Madeira Beach. Section 2, the rollback millage rate for fiscal year 2020 is 2.0877 per $1,000. Section 3, the fiscal year 2020 proposed millage rate is 31.72% higher than the rollback rate. Section 4, the millage rate to be levied for fiscal year 2020 shall be 2.7500 per $1,000. Section 5, the ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption.
Thank you. Any discussion from the commission? I'll open it for public comment. Public comment is now closed.
Were you going to have Mr. Pierce talk on this at all?
I'm sorry?
Were you going to talk on this at all?
I was going to talk on the next section.
Okay.
Okay. Director Pierce?
So the board needs to vote on this ordinance.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Walt.
I'll make the motion then to pass ordinance 2019-22 on the first reading and public hearing.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion from the board?
I second it. I thought it had been
Oh,
seconded.
it's already been seconded.
Oh, sorry.
You heard it.
Will the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Douthat?
Yes.
Commissioner Andrews?
Yes.
Commissioner Weinstein?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Black?
Yes. And the last item on the agenda is the ordinance 2019-23.
And Madam Mayor and Commissioners, I'll let the clerk read this ordinance. Or the first part of this, anyway.
You can read it by title, Claire, if you like.
Ordinance 2019-23, an ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2019, and ending September 30th, 2020, providing for reading in its entirety and providing for an effective date.
I'll go through the sections here. Section 1, the fiscal year 2020 budget shall be governed by the following funding sources and uses. The funding sources, governmental and proprietary funds for the general fund, and I will just read the total, is $10,115,500. Local option sales tax fund is $487,300. Archibald Fund is total funding sources $485,600. Building Fund, total funding sources $883,200. Gas Tax Fund, total funding sources $112,900. Debt Service Fund, total funding sources $1,021,400. Proprietary Funds, Sanitation Fund, total funding sources $1,495,700. Stormwater Fund, total funding sources $9,327,700. And Marina Fund, total funding sources $2,586,100, for a total funding sources for governmental and proprietary funds of $26,515,400. Funding uses, governmental and proprietary funds, governmental funds for general fund, total funding uses $10,115,500. Local option sales tax fund, total funding uses $487,300. Archibald Fund, total funding uses $485,600. Building Fund, total funding uses $883,200. Gas Tax Fund, total funding uses $112,900. Debt Service Fund, total funding uses $1,021,400. Proprietary Funds, Sanitation Fund, total funding uses $1,495,700. Stormwater Fund, total funding uses $9,327,700. Marina Fund, total funding uses $2,586,100, for total funding uses, governmental and proprietary funds of $26,515,400. And just want to say that just a couple of points. The FY 2019 adopted budget for this year is $18,229,000, and in this tentative budget for 2020, the tentative budget is $26,515,400, which is a difference of $8,229,000. Of this difference, $7,834,000 is being allocated from the $15 million loan that we just received just recently in FY 2020 for the Crystal Island project, Area 1. So the difference between the budget for this year, which is 18.2, and the 26 million is basically the funding for Crystal Island, which is the first major part of the project, the stormwater infrastructure project that we have for where we have the $15 million loan. The tentative budget book was distributed to the board on August 26th. The electronic version of the tentative budget was placed on the website on August 27th. The library has a hard copy of the budget. The second reading, just for information purposes, the second reading of the public hearing is set for September 17th, 2019 at 6 o'clock in these chambers. After the second hearing, we will be preparing the adopted budget book, so we appreciate any grammatical errors that might be in the tentative book. We are planning a town hall meeting for tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock for those residents who could not make this meeting or this meeting this evening and may have questions about the budget. So and then we're prepared to take any questions that the board or residents may have.
Fine with it. We've talked about it many times, and I think it's worked very hard on it. The Budget Review Committee has worked very hard on it, Finance Director and our City Manager, and I think we're ready to go on it.
I'll open the floor for public comment.
My name is Tom Mart. I'm at 401 150th Avenue, Madeira Beach. I have my notice of proposed property taxes and proposed assessments here. That number raises my taxes by 31%. Does everybody understand that's a big jump, 31%? $39 goes up for the county, the school taxes, $39 for 2020. Madeira Beach is $110. It seems like an awful big jump. I just thought I don't usually get up and say anything, but this just seemed like it was too much to let go by without saying something about it. But that's what I went to the tax office today, and that's exactly what they explained. They said, yes, your taxes are going up 30%, close to 30%, with the state assessment increase, which is about 8%, I understand. I don't know what I'm asking for, but I want to know. I want everybody to realize how high of a tax increase, or maybe I'm misinterpreting something, but that's what it seems like, from 2.22% to 2.75 is 0.55%. Figure that, compare that to 2.2, it's a 25 or 30% increase in taxes. Any comments back to me on that, or I just wanted to state that that's what I see, and I wonder if everybody else understands that. And do I understand that incorrectly?
Well, let me first say that you should have spoke about this when we talked about the millage rate. Technically, you're not allowed to be speaking about it because it's a different topic. We're approving the budget. But I allowed you to go to talk about it. And the other thing is, public comment is strictly public comment. We don't answer questions.
Oh, okay, I understand.
But I appreciate
Okay.
your
So
comment,
I should have really done this a while ago?
technically.
Didn't seem like there's much of a reaction in the town to this kind of a move. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Mayor, just for clarification, tomorrow night at the town hall meeting, we'll have a more informal, have an opportunity for more informal dialogue with residents if they have any questions. I know it's a big jump. We're taking a big bite out of the infrastructure and stormwater problems that the city has, and we do feel like that this is a step in the right direction, and we have talked about this several times, and we do feel like that this is the proper direction for the city. And on the back end of this, 4 or 5 years from now, we're looking at, more of an obligation, and we're trying to be a little bit more proactive so that we really are in a better position financially to deal with that second round of issues that we might have for stormwater issues. I really don't think, and it's my opinion, that next year and the year after, that we're setting this where it needs to be. So it's my opinion that next year's budget for 2021 and 2022, that we won't have to raise the millage, that it can stay the same. Because I think we'll be locked into the required payments that we'll need to make. We're looking at the $15 million that we borrowed to do the stormwater project for all 3 major areas was $15 million. And the payment on that annually is $1 million that the general fund has to submit to the stormwater fund to carry that. In the future, we're looking at other ways that the stormwater fund can be a little bit more self-sufficient and facing future obligations. So we're going to try to be more proactive in dealing with the city's infrastructure issues, not just now, but in the years to come.
Madam Mayor, if I may, Mr. Mart, if you have time after the meeting, I'll meet with you and we'll go through that so you have an understanding of it.
Thank you. And I suggest that you might want to come to the meeting tomorrow night and speak about it then. And this is just a first reading. We still have a second reading that has to be passed.
But that's how I felt. I felt I should
I understand.
say something, whether it's the right time or not, I didn't realize it.
I understand. That's okay. Any other public comment? Public comment is now closed.
May I make a comment on this?
Yes.
Okay. With regards to your comment, and I'm glad that you did get up, sir, I've lived in this town for 45 years, and I'm sure you've lived here a long time too, perhaps. Well, I'd just like to tell you that for many, many years, well, ever since I've lived here, I guess, we've never really had a real proper method or way of continuing and improving our streets, okay, and our stormwater. And that is the biggest thing. It has been, it's been passed from one administration to the next, and everybody likes to pass it unless they want to just take a chunk and just bite the bullet and say we have to do it. And our city was incorporated in 1947, and while we've had a lot of hodgepodge and some decent, road repairs, we've never really attacked it the way we need to attack it now for our city to go forward. So, and I've thought about it so many times in past years, and since I, was on the board, I felt very strong about it, and hopefully supported the effort, to go forward with this. So I hope that you will come tomorrow and get a little bit more background on it. But thanks for being here.
I didn't understand what you're saying in prior years. Never kept up with it. So this is a catch-up point, Okay.
Any more discussion?
I'd like to make the motion to approve the ordinance if there's no further discussion, to approve ordinance 2019-23, adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2019, and ending September 30th, 2020.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Will the city clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Weinstein,
Yes?
Commissioner Douthat,
Yes.
Commissioner Andrews,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hodges,
Yes.
Mayor Black.
Yes. Well, that's the last item on the agenda, and I just want to thank the Finance Department, the Board of Commissioners, the directors, the department heads, and especially the Budget Committee for everything that you put into this. It's an arduous task, and we're almost done with it. So I would like any budget member committees who are in the audience to please stand up to be recognized. Thank you. There being no further business, we are adjourned at 6:18.